Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got in this situation. Dripped out with the Guardian bow with Carol's? Who is this guy? And the Saradomin's Murmur too? Who's worn one of those in the last 10 years? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm Bloodcoven, and this is my Headhunter Ranged Rebuild. The premise is simple. I've locked my range gear and other useful items from my account behind a series of challenges that increase in difficulty as the stages progress. I clear a stage consisting of 3 difficult boss fight challenges, I remove some of the restrictions from my account, and then up the difficulty for the next stage of challenges. Think of it like Sisyphus pushing his boulder up a hill. We constantly have to start again under different circumstances. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to be rebuilding from scratch with nothing but my Bow of the Last Guardian, a powerful but difficult to use ranged weapon that I've never used before. We're going to be going from this to this in a matter of time. So as promised, I've done a little bit of off-camera grinding here, and I've been back to old reliable Hellfire medals where I've stacked up about 5 mil worth of these. This is great because we can now buy our first set of Carols. We're going to be cutting it pretty close, but it doesn't matter. There's plenty more money to be had from the Lava Strike Worms, which is where we're going to be off to next. We're going to put our gear to the test a bit and see if we can survive a bit better than the last time. But first, we're just going to grab a couple of PVM supplies. This time we're going to try using an aura so we can get a bit better accuracy. We're going to choose Supreme Sharpshooter, which is going to boost our range accuracy. Didn't really want to go with Reckless at this point since we're just going to take too much damage. We're already taking a pretty severe beating and eating a lot of food, so I'd rather not make that more complicated than it needs to be. Already we can see the aura is making a huge difference. My health's actually going up with Soul Split, which is nice. It's going to be even better once we get the Essence of Finality and some of the Hydrix jewelry back, since I rely way too much on the extra Soul Split healing from the amulets. We're just finishing off our second successful Strike World trip, so let's head to Prifddinas and sell off the loot and see how much money we can make. After selling a few items, we've earned ourselves another 5 mil. 5 mil doesn't go too far in RS3 unfortunately, but it is going to be enough to cover ourselves that Carol skirt we had to pass up earlier, and just grabbing a couple of junk items from the bank too while we're at it. Don't have too much time to waste. We've got a wilderness event coming up soon that we want to go to. We're going to chuck in the offer for the Carol skirt and leave that for a bit. Here we are at the Surprising Seedlings event. Unfortunately, no chance to roll an Onyx core on this one since it's just one of the basic ones and not a special one. It's also one of the more boring ones where you literally just run around in a circle for 3 minutes and get paid. It's hard to complain, especially when you don't have to fight anything. I'm sure you guys would love to see me get killed by a pointy bush, but I promise you I'm not that shit at the game. And to prove it, let's take a look at the loot. Case in point, there's some decent value and some decent alcohols. That's going to go straight in the GE. Well above average loot for the boring wilderness sack. Praise Orange Jesus. Today's a new day, and finally our Carols is bought. We get to use our best in slot after a little bit of waiting, and I'm so glad to have it on board. This is only a 5 level increase over the Royal Dragon Hide, but honestly, I'm taking every single advantage I can get at this stage. It's going to be like gluing paper mache to myself and using that as armor, but look, it's better than Royal Dragon Hide, so how much can we complain really? Despite that absolutely game-breaking combat gear improvements, I've returned back to the Hellfire medals, this time with some Signs of the Porter, but I can't stop thinking about how much I just want my Grace of the Elves back. That thing's a lifesaver. Now we've got even more money at our disposal, let's look at a few upgrades. First we're going to grab the Saradomin's Murmur, which is an upgrade over the Desert Amulet, but it's not going to buy straight away unfortunately. Next we're going to grab the 6th Age Circuit Ring, which is a reward for the World Wakes. I've already finished that, so that's a nice easy free upgrade. It's no Archer's Ring, but it's still better than nothing, which is what we've been making do with so far. We're back at ports, and we've had a few voyages finish up. Unfortunately, not getting lucky on the first one, failing a 70 or 80% success rate on that. We're just going to repair the thing straight away so we can send it out if we need it. Next one, we're going to get 8 plate, which is going to put us in the right direction for getting a Tetsu helmet that we can sell. They're only worth 1.2 mil or something like that, but still, look, we need all the money we can get at the moment. Getting a bit unlucky here, no Chi or Ancient Bones to be seen, but the plate will do for now. Now we got better cash flow, I'm going to treat myself some decent arrows. I'm going to grab the full arrow since they're pretty versatile. Their special effect does more damage at the cost of accuracy, which won't even come to play for the God Wars Dungeon 1 and 2 bosses, who have quite a low defense. This will be an issue at Nex, however, since she has a really high defense and you tend to splash in her a lot normally. Blackstone arrows will probably be a lot more suitable here, but we'll worry about that later. We got some basic gear and heaps of false confidence in our abilities, so we're going to be jumping on to our first goal of the series. As we see here in the totem bag, we're missing a few totems. One of those is the totem of intimidation, which means we're going to be pushing for the God Wars Dungeon 1 challenge first. This is going to allow us to enter the dungeon without kill count, which is going to be essential since we were not going to have any food or healing items to help us. Let's take a closer look at the Totem of Intimidation. So to build this thing, we're going to need 3 different parts. 2 of these are easy to get, one of them is kind of a pain in the ass to get. We're going to go for the pain in the ass piece first, because that's how we roll around here. I just want to get it off my plate and get it done with so I don't have to worry about it. We can get ourselves this totem piece. There's a 1 in 300 drop rate from dinosaurs around Anachronia. Fortunately, these things can be safe spotted, but they're quite slow to kill with range. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to really practice my BoLG rotations and understand how the abilities work, because we're going to be here for like 5 hours or something. And talking about 5 hours, you guessed it, we've got more prep work to do. Except this time we're going to be grabbing ourselves some overloads since we've actually got the cash to make these work without breaking the entire bank. Quickly running to Tavily to pick ourselves up our Herblore Master Cape. It's going to save us a few resources when it comes to making some of these overloads. And once again, here we are having trouble navigating the menus. I really need to start reading the text, as I'm sure you're all getting sick of me mindlessly clicking through these things. But that's our Herblore Cape obtained. While we're on the way through, Herblore got us thinking about some of the vials that we haven't bought. We're just going to grab a couple of those as we make a stopover on the way to the GE. Can't forget Lady Melia as well. It's probably the last time we're going to see any of these guys in the series. And even more so now that the vials aren't selling. Oh my god, he's actually in a combat situation. Here we are at the King Black Dragon Rampage Wilderness event. This is a special wilderness event that's going to give us a chance to roll for the Onyx Core, which I think is selling for about 800 or 700 mil at the moment. Either way, we get one of those, it's making a huge difference to our account. So let's jump right in. Here we are, narrowly surviving our first encounter with the King Black Dragon, but as a result of our hard work, we're going to get ourselves 2 reward sacks, pulling our hard casket from the first one, and a pyramid from the second one. Pyramid's a good alchable since I've already got one in my bank, just need to unlock it. And the hard casket? No shadow die, but can't argue with a fortunate component. Love to see it. There it is. Finally remembered to take off my cosmetics, but here is the absolute pinnacle of Fashionscape in 2023. I bet no one expected to see that. This is going to be the setup we use to kill some dinosaurs with. Copped off with the Saradomin's Murmur just to make it a little bit better. You guys must be so jealous at this point. It is officially dinosaur time. We're going to throw in our Sharpshooter Aura and drink our Ranging Potion so we don't miss as much. You probably noticed that I'm not using the overloads I bought a second ago. That's because I'm being cheap once again. We're going to see how this goes with the range potions for now. Wish me luck. Hopefully we won't be here for the full 300 kills, but either way, we're going to be getting some good practice with the bow in. Nothing crazy yet, just a treasure hunter token. Putting that one out there because this one will be important in a second. Keep it in your mind. Well, that's not a Totem of Intimidation piece, so we have more dinosaurs to kill. Unlucky, but wasn't expecting to get a piece straight off the bat. Okay, so weird cutaway. This is actually a pretty good find. It's just rolled over to the new month, which means we can use this to reset the oyster twice. We'll have a look at that one later though. Just keep this in mind. Dino's Trip 1 done, and some not bad loot. I might actually be kind of down to go a bit dry here, to be honest. Dino's Trip 2 with the good loot as well. Starting to regret saying I wouldn't mind going dry though. Nah, no way. You can't get killed in a safe spot. Yeah, see, my son alive procs. No worries. Dino's Trip number 3 done. Please, just get me out of here. Oh, thank God. Finally. That's the totem. Didn't go too dry. I think only about 20 kills, but we can finally get the fuck out of it. Actually kill something useful. Thick drop. So that's our Totem of Intimidation piece. This was earned on 311th dinosaur, so only just behind the drop rate. Here we're going to see our final trip's loot check. Rudely getting interrupted by exiting combat, but that's 2.5 mil for the bank on the last trip. Those Arbuck seeds are seriously pulling their weight. First piece done, let's follow it up with a second one quickly after. The third one we've just got to do a quick quest for. It's called Helping Lanikia. She's the Slayer Master on Anachronia, but she's kind of a pain to get to. I did forget that she was also located in the base camp, so I've actually gone to go and get a Slayer cape so we could teleport straight to her near Raksha. It's got some good utility and definitely not a waste of 100k. This one's actually an upgrade as well. It's going to be our best in slot fashion scape for the time being. Absolutely love the red and black on the Carol's. Here we are starting Lanikia's quest. There's a couple things I hate in RuneScape. One of them's questing, the second one is running around Anachronia to pick up random items for someone. Let's just get straight to it. First item obtained. Second item obtained. Here's number 3. Actually ran out of run energy somehow in 2023. Number 4, still out of run energy. Number 5, groundbreaking stuff. We actually have our run energy back.
No, I ran the wrong way. Fuck, it's so close. Ah, that's so far. I've already run so far.
The average blood coven questing experience. I haven't done my reading properly and I've missed a step. It is going to be such a long run back here, and I thought I was complaining before. Oh, this better be the cleanest stick of their goddamn life. Here we go. And we're back. Let's finish up this quest and do some quick fishing. That's our pufferfish. Let's hand it in for our totem piece and move straight out of Anachronia. The next time we're back here, it better be for Raksha. Now we're finished up at Anachronia dinosaurs. Let's do a quick price check of the loot to see what we made. Not bad, honestly. Time well spent. And here we are, 3 hard-earned totem pieces. Let's take a quick look at those for the last time and throw them together into the full totem. Using our sewing skills, apparently. Ignoring that, let's run back to Anachronia, chuck it on the pedestal, and knock out the ritual. So, that's a lot of progress, and I'm quite happy with where things are sitting right now. I'm full of false confidence in my abilities, and I think we're ready to actually fight the God Wars Dungeon 1 bosses. But not for their loot, no. This isn't a rebuild, this is the Headhunter challenge. And coincidentally, we have heads to hunt. 4 of those are the God Wars Dungeon 1 bosses on hard mode, without banking, and no healing items. We do have a little bit of prep work to do, but I'm pretty confident we can take this one down in the next episode. That's going to put us a third of the way through completing our stage 1 challenges. Going to be a bit of time before we can do the other ones since they are considerably harder, but hey, we'll worry about that later. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.